There's 4 stages to becoming a successful online personal trainer, and most coaches genuinely do not even make it past stage 2. So I want to go over some of the bottlenecks and issues that you're going to experience at each one of these stages and how to push through them and actually get through the whole process so that you can go from this bitch being a little side gig thing that you're doing to an actual source of income and a full-time job. So let's not waste any time. Stage 1 here is going to be authority. The entire authority stage is just built around being a more capable personal trainer. Odds are when you first get into this, you're not going to be very good at it, and that's fine. That's kind of the whole point of having a career, and this is you're going to slowly get better. But how do we get better faster? How do we make sure that we build authority in this space to the point where we can go through those next couple of stages and actually get to, the end goal, which is being super rich and awesome? There's a couple different ways, right? The main one is going to be education. And that might sound like I'm saying go get a degree, go get a certification, and that's fine if you want to pursue one of those routes. Genuinely, they will help you a whole lot in building authority and building your capabilities. But there's one thing that I think not enough people pursue, and that's getting a coach of their own. I don't know if this is like an ego thing that I see a lot of like younger or newer personal trainers getting into, where they don't want to hire coaches of their own. And again, it's this idea that like, oh, I need to build my own authority. If I hire a personal trainer, that means like I'm not a good enough personal trainer and people aren't going to take me. Stop. In every single field, especially service fields, having a mentor of your own, having some guidance is a staple. You need it. Go get a personal trainer, an online coach that operates in your niche, that has 10 or 20 years of experience on you, and learn from them. Ask them a shit ton of questions. Shadow them as much as you can. Nowadays, there's even coaches out there that explicitly offer like mentorship programs where they're not just coaching you from a diet and nutrition standpoint. They're coaching you as a coach, knowing that you want to get into this space as well, and you need to learn, how to actually acquire clients of your own and manage them. Do it. Put your ego aside, put whatever weird thing you got going on aside, and go hire a coach of your own, okay? It's probably the best investment that you could have early in your online personal training career is spending the money to go get a good coach or go do a mentorship program of some kind. Trust me. Honestly, let's think about this a little bit logically too, because the authority stage is a little interesting because truly over the entire course of your, personal training career, you're supposed to be building that authority, right? You're going to keep getting better. You're going to keep getting smarter. You're going to keep learning more things, right? Getting smarter and learning more things. It's the same fucking thing, Josh. Anyway, so, over the first decade of your career, you're going to learn a lot. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to squeeze into there. There's a lot of capabilities that you're going to slowly build up. Why wait 10 years to do that when you could just fucking hire somebody who's 20 years into this, who could start disseminating that information to you right now and give you all of those hard lessons learned? You can expedite your entire career of learning and squeeze it into that first year if you just go hire somebody to help you out. Trust me, just go do it. Now, that kind of gets us to our second stage of being an online personal trainer, which is visibility, right? Even if you're the most capable coach out there, you've learned everything that you need to know. You've read every single textbook. You have this mentor, and he's taught you everything. If you can't get your name out there, who gives a shit? This is never going to be something that you're going to be able to actually scale into a genuine source of income or a full-time job if nobody knows that you exist. So what does that mean? What does it mean to build visibility? In the online personal training world, it might sound like I'm just saying, hey, go get famous. And that's not what I'm saying at all. A lot of people think that they need to start going viral. They need to start making catchy videos. They need to start doing all of these things to get as many views as they can so that more people click the link in their bio. Stop doing that, please. It's not going to work. Or at best, every viral video that you get, you'll maybe get one application and that person's not going to be that serious and they're going to churn over in like 2 months and then you just got to wait for the next viral moment that you get again to get like one more app. Stop doing it. Because the thing is, we just spent all of this, energy talking about authority and building your capabilities. Odds are that if you're chasing virality, you're not going viral because you displayed some level of authority, some level of capability, right? Odds are you're going viral because you did a dumb trend or you said something controversial or whatever. It's not worth it, okay? Because reality is you don't need 100,000 views or 1 million views in order to make this a sustainable business for yourself of being an online coach. There's people that I know that have followings of less than 10,000 across all of their platforms that do this as a full-time job, and they make like 6 figures from it. Why is that? Because when you build like a core audience of people who see, again, goes back to this visibility thing, see your capabilities as a coach, the percentage of that audience that is going to then sign up with you is going to be much higher, right? So you could have 100,000 followers, but if none of them see you as an authority figure, then it doesn't really matter, right? Because none of them are going to come work with you. They're just watching just to watch you because you do fun shit every once in a while. But if you have a platform of even 5,000 followers and you even just convert 1% of them to working with you, that is already a full roster of people that if you're charging a reasonable price to, could be your full-time job. It's 5,000 people. Again, this is not, you're not some viral influencer or anything. It's 5,000 people. Now, I know, I'm saying 5,000 people, and you're probably sitting here and you might have 50 followers, 100 followers, 500 followers. So you're like, how the hell do I get to 5,000? I get it. It's part of this visibility stage. When you're just getting into this and you need to get your name out there as much as possible, you cannot hold back on making content. You just can't. And it's a really hard thing for a lot of people to break through when they first get into social media, because they think to themselves, all right, I posted a video yesterday. If I post another one today, you know, I'm gonna be back on everybody's For You page. All my friends are gonna think I'm weird because I'm posting these videos and they're getting like 10 views. And stop all of that line of thinking. It's useless. You need to bother the For You page. You need to let people know that you exist, that you're a capable coach, that you're an authority figure in this realm, that you're capable of getting people the results that they want, and build that visibility, right? Again, if people don't know you exist, if people don't know that you're good at your job, they're never gonna fucking sign up with you. It doesn't matter. It's just the reality of the situation that we're in, right? So yes, you're working in an industry where there's coaches out there with millions of followers, but it doesn't matter. You just need to build a solid core following of couple thousand people and you'll be off to the races, at least here in stage 2. And the way you can build this visibility is, again, you have to showcase that authority that you've been building. So it might have been with your first 5 clients, your buddy of your buddy, your friend of your family members. It doesn't matter. If you're getting people the results, use that to build your visibility. Make videos, show client transformations, show people what you're capable of, show that this client feels better, that they look better, that they whatever. Use client testimonials. Do anything that you can to build that visibility of your authority, right? These things kind of build on each other. And of course, there's other types of content that you can make in order to showcase your authority, right? Your own physique, obviously, is something that you're going to want to use. We know that there's really good coaches and personal trainers out there that don't have the most insane physiques in the world, but it definitely helps to look the part. So use your physique. If you look great, that's fine. But genuinely, from what I've seen, I don't think it's necessarily the biggest driver of getting clients that stick around for longer and that will pay a higher ticket price. Demonstrate your authority, demonstrate your education level, put out educational videos, put out videos explaining certain exercises, explaining certain workout routines, give people free workout routines. Again, show those client transformations, build that visibility as much as you can. And a big part of this that is going to help is giving out free shit. Again, we've kind of just gotten away from the world where you're kind of working for free for the friend of a friend or for the family member or whatever it is. And I know you want to start charging money as much as you can and making as much money as you can, but again, visibility is the stage that you're in right now. People need to know that you're there and that you're good at your job. So offering them free little nuggets here and there is going to help with your visibility. And free nuggets that I'm talking about is the content. If you're putting out educational content, you give them a workout routine, you give them form advice on a particular, exercise, or you give them dietary advice, you give them recipes, whatever it is. But you can also give out free programs. You can give out a quick diet guide. You can give out a quick checklist for the gym or whatever it might be. You can give out these little nuggets of information, these little freebies for people so that, again, they know you're there, they know you're good at your job, and they know that they can come to you if they want to come work with a personal trainer at some point. After doing that for long enough, once you build that visibility, you'll start getting genuine clients in, and you can start building from that, I'm just working with 5, 6, 7 clients here, to now we can break through those double digits. We've got 10 clients, we've got 15 clients, we've got 20. We're starting to build a genuine roster. And if you need help with establishing that visibility, it's the entire reason why I built Coach Finders, because there's a very large market out there of personal trainers and coaches that I know are very capable and are getting great results with just a couple clients. But again, they're competing in a very big market against very big fish and just can't get their name out there quick enough. So Coach Finder allows you to list yourself for free publicly and start showcasing that capability that you have to a larger audience with no extra effort after you set up your profile. You can tell people that you're certified in XYZ. You can tell people that you're a specialist in bodybuilding or powerlifting or whatever it is. And just by nature of listing yourself and putting out a really strong profile, a really strong presence online, you'll start getting a couple more applications. It's just one more funnel that you can use along with the regular social media funnels, the regular word of mouth funnels. It's one more tool for you to leverage in order to increase your visibility at this stage, break through, and get to that stage 3 that not a lot of coaches actually get to. Speaking of, stage 3 in this process is systems. This is where a lot of online personal trainers start to break down because they don't know how to establish systems in their practice. And when I talk to personal trainers that are kind of heading in this direction, they think that systems means just like client management, right? How do I manage all these diet programs that I'm putting together? How do I manage all these clients, all these calls, all these weekly check-ins, all these training programs that I'm putting together? That's a whole separate thing, and you do need to establish systems for doing that. Whatever type of software you need for client management, go out there. There's a ton of different options out there. They all have their benefits. They all have their downsides. Find one, use it, manage your clients. That's not the systems that I'm talking about, though. The systems that I'm talking about is building some robustness into that client funnel that we've been working on this entire time. In order to break through to this stage 3, you need to understand what is working and what is not. You need to understand what types of content you're making that is actually converting people. You need to understand what types of things you're doing on your social media pages that are turning people from just casual viewers, casual listeners, people who are just taking your freebies to people that actually want to use your services. You need to find those pinpoints and leverage them aggressively. In that visibility stage, you're probably throwing a bunch of shit at a wall. Like I said, you're making content about protein recipes and form videos and reviewing other people's form and I don't know, whatever other content you're making, right? You're throwing shit at a wall. Something in there is hitting, something in there is sticking, something in there is getting you clients. Find it and abuse it. I'll use a personal example because the thing that got me the most views, the thing that got me the most followers and visibility, the wrong kind of visibility, was yelling at people in my car. That shit took off every single time I did it. And if you've followed me on any of my other channels, like my personal ones, and watched me, do my online personal training thing, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Those like aggravated videos where I'm yelling about some, piece of misinformation or bad advice or whatever it is. That's the type of stuff that people started following me for, right? That's where I got the most visibility. But that was not what was actually converting clients. The types of clients that I worked with for the most part were bodybuilders, and particularly like newer bodybuilders. They've competed once, they haven't competed at all, they want to step on stage for the first time. That was kind of, my core portfolio of clients for a very large portion of my personal training career. And so the type of content that was actually converting followers into clients was me talking very specifically about bodybuilding on very detailed topics and showcasing, again, that authority that we built all the way back in stage 1 to those followers, and showing them that, I know how to put somebody on stage for the first time. I know the pitfalls of peak week. I know the pitfalls of prep. I know, posing expertise. I could do posing breakdown videos. I could do bodybuilding show breakdown videos and say, this is why this guy won. This is why this guy lost. It might not be obvious to you, blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of content that you can make out there in each one of your niches. But I started finding the specific pieces of content that would actually convert clients. So how does this play into systems? Identifying that is what is driving your client funnel, or at least it's a part of what's driving your client funnel, is what you need to abuse and build a system around, okay? So if you're gonna make other content for views and whatever, that's fine, right? This piece of content over here that's converting clients, build a system around it. Post it X amount of times, post it as many times as you can, even if it's not getting the views that the other stuff is. This is your client funnel. Build a system around it, right? And that also means that if these are the types of clients that you're going to attract, that you're going to start going with, you also need to have the ability to close those clients, which means when they fill out your application, when you get on a call with them, knowing exactly what they're looking for and how to close that lead, how to close that particular client. For me, working with bodybuilders, again, they're going to get on call, they're going to compete for the first time. What they want to know, they don't know shit about competing. They don't know what it's like backstage. They don't know what peak week feels like. They don't know what prep feels like. They don't know what it's like at all. They've just watched Olympians and, Chris Bumstead get on stage and they're like, I want to do that. They don't know anything about it. So getting on a call with me and me being able to talk them through what that process is going to be like for them, build that excitement, build that, repertoire between me and a potential client is usually what closes that deal. And there's other aspects to closing, right? Like removing their doubts, asking them questions, removing their frustrations, giving them a clearer understanding, letting them understand like a path forward, making it very obvious that like if they work with you, they will get here kind of a thing, right? There's tons of ways to approach those types of conversations in order to close those leads, but you need to build a system around it regardless, right? And that's also part of this. You probably had at this stage multiple calls with a bunch of different clients, and you should be able to tell at this point what is working and what is not. What types of conversations when you have them with clients, potential clients, is actually closing them and getting them to join you. Not only that, look at your current roster of clients. Look at your current portfolio of clients. It's perfectly acceptable to go have conversations with them and just say, hey, like, we've been working together for a while. I'd love to get some feedback and understand, what parts of my coaching are really working for you, what parts aren't, right? Like, is there anything that you wish I was doing better? Is there anything that you really like that I'm doing that I should be reinforcing? Go talk to your clients. Go figure out why they're working with you so that you can figure out how to get more of them, right? And build a system around it. So once you get back from your clients, and for me it was a lot of science-based and evidence-based stuff that my clients really liked, right? They kind of liked digging into the nitty-gritty, even though this is the bro science bodybuilding world, digging into the science-based stuff was just what they liked from me, and I'm a nerd, so I liked it too. It's kind of how I attracted that audience to begin with, and so that was something that they liked about my coaching that was working to close clients, was kind of showcasing that expertise, that education in like a science-based way, and being able to explain that stuff to them in a way that they could understand, even if they didn't have the background to be able to understand these more complex topics of human anatomy and biology and whatever, right? Now, in order to get yourself to stage 4, you're gonna have to make a pretty big decision, and that's gonna be making this full-time, because stage 4 is scaling. All the way up until stage 3, it's possible for this to be kind of a side gig, a side hustle for you. You work a 9-to-5 job, so Saturday and Sunday is completely open for you. You record a bunch of content, you work on a bunch of client stuff over the weekend, you post content throughout the week, every night, after the gym or after work, you can do some more client work. You're fitting it in your free time here. In order to properly scale this, though, you will have to make it your full-time gig. And listen, my personal opinion is it's perfectly acceptable to stop at stage 3. I only say that because that's where I stopped. But again, if you want this to be your full-time job, well, shit, you have to decide to make it your full-time job, don't you? I got out at stage 3 because, the personal training world wasn't ever really going to be my thing, right? There was other bigger things that I wanted to move on. Coach Finder being one of them. So in order to make that decision to head into stage 4 and make this your full-time thing, you need to have those systems set up. You need to have those funnels set up, because you don't want to be waiting for the next application to come in. You want to have a reliable stream of applications coming in, and you want to be able to sift through them and filter them and make sure that you're taking on the most reliable clients, the highest ticket clients, the ones that are going to stick around for longer and pay a top dollar, right? All of that kind of needs to be there before you can decide that you want to head into stage 4, because otherwise you're taking a pretty big risk. And I'm not necessarily risk averse. It's also perfectly acceptable to push yourself into stage 4, get rid of your 9-to-5 job or whatever job it is you're working, and free up those extra 40 hours per week for you to make this your full-time thing and scale it properly. Because again, this entire stage is kind of built on, I've got something that works. It's repeatable. I know how to repeat it. It's just that I don't necessarily have the time and resources to repeat it all day, every day, and make sure that I'm managing my client roster of 50 plus, right? So stage 4, believe it or not, is actually the simplest stage of all of this, because all you're doing is taking everything you've built up until this point and now just extending it to your full bandwidth for the week and making it the only thing that you're doing. So that's it. Those are the 4 stages that you can work through to become like an online fitness coach that's making 6 figures, like a reliable source of income every single month. Not just this, I get a couple clients here, I got a good month, I got a bad month. You want some stable income, even if you're self-employed doing the online fitness coaching thing. And those 4 stages are how you push yourself through it. It truly is really simple, but it's not easy, right? Like I said, at multiple stages throughout this, you're going to have to check your ego. You're going to have to, do some cold DMs. You're going to have to put yourself out there a little bit, and it's going to be uncomfortable. but you got to trust the process because it is relatively simple. And if you can't trust it right now, first of all, you're screwed. Second of all, look at the entire industry. Look at all the people that have been able to grow platforms and do this already. It's repeatable. We're seeing people do it again and again and again. So follow what they're doing, follow these 4 stages, and you will end up there eventually. But like I said, I see a lot of coaches get hung up around that stage 2, stage 3, moving from visibility to systems. And if that's you, and if you think you need that additional client funnel, I heavily suggest that you go check out coachfinders.org. It's free to sign up. It's free to join. You can go up. You can get yourself listed publicly. Put all your information in there so that people can see that you're qualified, that you have X amount of years of experience, that you operate in within a certain cost range, right? And it's just another way for you to get your name out there, for more clients to find you. Not only that, but it kind of guarantees that you're going to get good applications, right? Because people specifically looked for a coach like you. They didn't just, happen to stumble upon a video of yours on social media and they kind of liked the things you were saying, so they signed up, not really knowing what you're about. They filtered for you. They tried to find, a coach with your certification that operates within your niche, that operates, that is one of the types of clients that you specialize in. They're already going to know that their budget is within your range. So when they apply to you, when you get those applications rolling in through Coach Finder, it's kind of pre-filtered to be a good match for you. So then we're not just kind of taking on arbitrary whoever clients. We're actually getting like real clients that are going to stick around for longer. Which is good for business. So like I said, go check out Coach Finder, get yourself listed, get some more visibility. And as a coach, reach out to us on any of our social media platforms because genuinely I want to hear feedback from you guys. This platform is built for you guys in order to scale that visibility section of this and make sure that really highly qualified coaches are getting out there and getting the clients that they deserve to have, because you guys are very capable of getting these people the transformations that they want. So I want to hear feedback from you guys forever and always. So reach out on any social media platform, let us know your thoughts, but more so than anything else, go sign up, get yourself listed.